dignitaries on the dais. It is a rare honor for me to be with you. I feel honored to be associated with Parihaar Foundation. I came as a guest and I'm happy to have the opportunity to speak a few words with you. As I stand here, a couple of thoughts come to me which I want to share with you about the work of Parihaar. First and foremost is that I was very happy to see the picture of Raja Ram Mohan Rai as the inspiration, because every time I go to Bristol to visit my friend, I go and visit the burial place of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, which is in Bristol, as all of you know. And I respect him a lot as a change agent in our history of India. As I thought, as psychiatrist, I've been working as a psychiatrist for about 40 years. I thought I'd share with you one story which illustrated the tragedy or the pathos of widowhood that I experienced as an example of, practical example of that. One day when I was busy in my office in the Nimhans, a young man whom I was looking after rushed into the room and said, gave me a piece of paper and said, I have to see you. Then when he opened the piece of paper, he had written in there, I had gone to the railway tracks to commit suicide, but I remembered you because you were looking after me, so I came to you. So immediately I sat down with him, put aside all my work, and I asked him what happened. He said, you know, yesterday was my cousin's marriage, that is his mother's, sister's, daughter's marriage. What happened in that marriage ceremony upset me very much. I asked him what happened. He said that when my mother went to do the decoration of the bride, everyone said you should not come anywhere near her because you will put the shadow of a widow, and I could not handle it. So I left the next day, went to the railway tracks, and I would have committed suicide but for the fact I knew that you are there for me. And he came to me, then of course we admitted him and called the family and looked after him. So the tragedy is not only that of a widow or a widower, it's tragedy is for the whole family. Because when you deprive a person of the role he or she has got, it requires a tremendous amount of effort to rebuild one's own life. And I think one of the things which I would like to leave Parihaar with is to teach people to rebuild their life when they become elderly, that is on retirement, or when they lose a spouse, or when they lose a partner in divorce. I think there is a whole process of rebuilding. Now, time doesn't allow me to talk about it, but I'll be happy to talk about it some other time. But for doing this, I would request Parihaar to take up two activities which we are very poor in India. One is that we talk about big things, but we don't reduce it to nitty-gritty things. The same way Lily Paul and Deepika talked about their personal experiences. We need to document the needs of people in this situation. And equally important is not only the needs, the stories of courage. You know, for example, when the Dignity Foundation had a function about 1 month back, there was a book of Chicken Soul for the Elderly. They were all stories from abroad, not from India. Luckily, there were stories of motherhood from India. I think if we can get into looking at how are we experiencing our transitions to widowhood, or divorcee, or elderly, or developing an illness, and what mechanisms that are there in our religion, our culture, and our families, that would be a great help. The other thing which I would like to say is that all your staff should be trained in good documentation. I'm sure Madam Lily Paul will teach you, and I myself are doing it at this moment. I do only voluntary work after retirement. What we have done is in the school for the mentally retarded, that's the Association for Mentally Challenged, we have asked the parents to sit with us and talk to us for about an hour and built up narratives. We call it as family narratives of loss and love. And soon we'll be publishing it as a book of 50 stories. I think it teaches us that it is possible to experience both loss as well as love. And I personally would urge that Parihaar takes up this idea of teaching people to live rather than feel helpless, the way both Deepika and Lily Paul presented it. And I obviously would be happy to have any service. And I take the opportunity to wish Parihaar a bright future of service and transformation. And the last comment which I would like to say is I like the term what Mrs. Lily Paul said, how each one of us can help. If the 100 or so people here can say, we will talk to 10 people, and then they talk to 10 people, then the transformation will occur at our individual level as well as in the society. Again, thank you, Jayaprakash, for asking me to come and share my thoughts. Good luck to all of you.